in and buy some dog food. Well, that wasn't entirely true because we already bought the dog food. I just didn't want to get in a huge conversation. So I lied.
Well, there you have it. What are some ways in which we are at least tempted to lie? I'm not asking for anyone to air their dirty laundry here.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
What about on our driver's license when it asks your weight?
You know, I was thinking, well, the one thing I was thinking about that is that your weight fluctuates, right, ladies? It fluctuates over the years in which you carry the driver's license, so at some point you're probably telling the truth. I was looking for things to put on my little table here today. I was walking around my house thinking of things that would somehow indicate that, and you'll see that I brought the bathroom scale with me. Because, you know, most of the time we're just not honest with ourselves, and other people, thankfully, are not tacking it, although one of Lucy's friends at the Bridge Bank did ask, how much do you weigh? But you're right, exactly right. Driver's license, what else?
Sometimes our spouses will lie to spare our feelings. So I'm not a great cook, so he'll say, "Oh, this is so good," and I'm thinking, "Oh, I wouldn't even eat it." You know.
Hey, again, I don't really see what comes from being brutal to people. I don't get what's productive about doing that. So hallelujah to your husband.
I have a question. Like, me and my girlfriend were conversing about this, but she's like, "Well, my kids asked me if the tooth fairy was real or like Santa," and I told them I had to tell them the truth. I didn't want to lie, and I said, "Why not?" You know, like, I mean, it's like, so is that considered? Because I would still play it like they're. You know.
How about we could spend the balance of this time and more on that very topic alone? There's some pretty strong feelings about Santa Claus and Tooth Fairy. Yes.
No, we're not real.
I mentioned Tooth Fairy. It reminds me of one time my son asked, he says, "Is there really a Tooth Fairy?" And I said, "Well, no." He said, "You make things that are fun so unfun."
Somebody does that.
Yeah.
I think the commitments we make, you know, we have these discussions like we're going to commit ourselves to do things like visiting teaching. We're all going to do 100% visiting teaching.
Right.
And we all contribute to the lessons. Like, yeah, we're going to do it. And then for some reason it just doesn't happen.
Right.
I don't think that, you know, we're out really to lie like, "Oh, I'm not going to do it."
Right.
Or, you know, but it is. We're not fulfilling that commitment, and that is a lie that we've done. So I think we have to really look at the commitments we make and the things that we do, and
I found a quote from President Hinckley that says, "Honesty and integrity are not old-fashioned principles. They are just as viable in today's world. We've been taught in the church that when we say we'll do something, we do it. When we make a commitment, we honor it. When we are given a calling, we fulfill it. When we borrow something, we return it. When we have a financial obligation, we pay it. When we enter into an agreement, we keep it." Absolutely. And that was under a lesson on honesty. Yeah, now all of a sudden you go, wait a minute. 5 minutes ago, I wasn't a liar. Now I'm starting to think, what are some other things? There were other hands up in ways, I mean, we're talking about taxes, we're talking about, oh my gosh, I found all kinds of stuff. It says, there are those who rob homes and banks, this is from President Kimball, and businesses, employers untrue to their trusts, and employees who misappropriate money. There are purse snatchers, meter robbers, tax evaders, and those who mislabel and represent the products they're selling. Some borrow beyond their ability to pay. Some make promises and solemn covenants and disregard and ignore them. There are those who have taken towels from hotels, those who have kept overpayment of change. Some succeed in business by sharp practices and close dealing. Then there's the downright pilfering and stealing. People boast of traffic violations and outsmarting the police and of crossing international borders with concealed merchandise without paying duty. And there are those who overcharge and overweigh and underpay. It goes on and on and on. You start thinking about honesty and perfect honesty. And let me tell you, ladies, you're going to be stunned how many times in a day you have a hard time with this. Yes?
I think sometimes I let people assume things that aren't necessarily true.
Yep.
It's a lie of
So,
omission.
I mean, it's a lie if I don't.
And
People think my two little kids are twins, and I don't. And if I don't know that person, I don't really care about what I just tell. Yeah.
right. It does say in the lesson that withholding information is lying. You know, and I say some things are just none of your business.
Yeah.
So, you know, why wouldn't I withhold that information? Really, the safety of your children could be at stake. And so, and I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just saying we need to look at that. We need to look closely at that and what really constitutes perfect honesty. Kim?
When you get pulled over for speeding and the officer says, "Do you know how fast you were going?"
No, not me, man. Do not know. You had a comment.
Well, I was just going to say, if we actually, in those situations that you discussed, if we were more perfectly honest, how much less we would pay for things, because we are always paying for those that are dishonest.
Oh, boy, that's the honest truth. I found another comment here from President Kimball that says, well, maybe it's not from him. This must be another President Hinckley comment that says, what was once controlled by the moral and ethical standards of the people, we now seek to handle by public law. And so the statutes multiply, enforcement agencies consume ever-increasing billions, and prison facilities are constantly expanded, but the torrent of dishonesty pours on and grows in volume. If we all lived by our moral standards, we would have a whole lot more money in the bank because we wouldn't be paying it out in taxes for all these people who frankly don't have those morals and ethics. Let's just move on really quickly because I want to plant this other seed in your head if you're not feeling bad enough. I told you that stealing was dishonest. I can't imagine anyone in this room would say, well, I do it. I steal. But, how many of us have taken the grapes in the produce department at the store, whatever, okay? We've done those kinds of things. This is right out of the lesson. Copyrighting music, movies, pictures, or written text without the permission of the copyright owners is dishonest and is a form of theft. So you might go, there was that one time.
I always think about England and some of the stories where the person stole food because his brothers and sisters were starving and sent to Australia and just went before some of those stories.
Right. I have before you just a mere smattering of movies that do reside in the Lorenzen household, including Pillow Talk. That, if you look at those movies, it's not going to take you much to figure out that everything is based on deception and lies, and it's all for good, by the way. It's a very Robin Hood kind of approach to stealing from one for the good of the other. And I'm sure I left the other kind at home, where that's not the case. But, really, as I looked at the titles of these movies and thought about them, I thought, this is entertainment, ladies. This is good stuff. And you may not like some of the choices that are down there, but come on, we're talking Doris Day here in Pillow Talk, right? And those movies are based on that. We find it amusing. Can you think of an I Love Lucy episode where she doesn't lie, steal, or cheat? I mean, there isn't one out there. And you would much rather have your children watching that, wouldn't you, than what's on TV today. And so I own the entire collection. It's true. This serves as entertainment for us. Can it be all that surprising when you're kids somehow get the idea that that's okay behavior? Because we're watching it night after night with your blessing, right? I mean, this is pretty amazing stuff. So to steal is dishonest. To cheat is dishonest. Now, my husband and I just came back from a 3,000-mile road trip, which we did in 8 days. Yeah, I tried to sleep through as much of that as I could. But we did have a discussion about this, knowing that I was going to teach this lesson today. I said, let's think about some things that constitute stealing and cheating and so forth. And, we went down this list. You can cheat on your taxes. You can cheat on your spouse. You can cheat in your numbers at work. Maybe they're sales numbers. Maybe they're your, what do they call those? Your expense reports. You can cheat when you play a game. You can buy a product that's clearly been mismarked in the price. Run up there and buy it with that price and go